folks. It's Zion Hezekiah here, a.k.a. Hez, recording on Tuesday, February the 11th, 2020. This is our O'Shea Brissett episode.
Here's O'Shea with a dozen, matching the number on his jersey.
Episode number 12 of Season 3, Toronto Talk Sports, and more. Happy to be joined by my dear co-host, Janelle Estaa. What's going on, Janelle?
What's up? Everything's good.
And I see a familiar face to your right. Young lady is that Michelle Rivera in the flesh? What's going on, Michelle?
Not much. How's it going?
Where have you been? What have you been up to? So Michelle, hold on, guys. Michelle is our former studio photographer. She was with us for probably about a year or so. And then she went traveling the world, exploring
she
things.
Still is.
Still is as a flight attendant. What's new and exciting?
Nothing really. Just
Traveling the world.
now it's the norm now to just constantly be on the go. You know what I mean? So it's my norm.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, good to see you. Welcome here.
Yeah.
Awesome. So guys, this is what we have for our opening topic. So check this out. Big story. Obviously, it's viral.
Yeah.
Broadcast journalist for CBS News, Gayle King, recently interviewed Lisa Leslie. And of course, she brought up, that line of questioning regarding Kobe Bryant's past, the criminal charges dating back to 2003. Of course, just for context, the charges were later dropped. And she's received lots of backlash, obviously, for that interview. Well, yes. Also death threats. So, it's not very pretty at all. Many celebrities have, condemned her, obviously for that line of questioning. But surprisingly, there have been, a fair amount as well that have, pretty much defended her. So the question is it fair game to talk about Kobe's past? So once again, based on the circumstances that, of course, he's no longer with us, and obviously he was never convicted of anything, should that situation, guys, even be discussed? Janelle?
Oh, that's so tough. It's like, because he can't even defend himself. He wasn't even guilty. He wasn't charged for his crimes. It was just, it happened and it kind of went away in a while. But to bring it up after his death is just like a bad punch.
Like, what was your impression when you actually saw that interview? Like, were you was it one of those kind of cringe moments?
Yes, it was.
A little uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was very uncomfortable. I'm like, oh, she's going to get so much backlash after this interview.
What was your take, Michelle?
Well, I mean, it's the idea of talking about something after someone has passed, I think, is fair game. However, the fact that, charges were dropped and then you look at the circumstances, like she didn't even show up to like her court dates and everything. It's just, at that point, it's like, why are you digging up something that's already been buried?
Yes,
It's like, what's the point, really?
That's where I was going as well. Like, yeah, exactly. What is the point?
Yeah.
What are you trying to get out of it? And from my standpoint, and once again, Kobe Bryant, God rest his soul, he hasn't even been buried yet. He's not even in the ground yet. And we're talking about things that aren't relevant. And we've heard people, chime in, 50 Cent said his thing, obviously Snoop and several others, where it's like, once again, what is the purpose of this? Like, what were you driving at? What is the aim, right?
I have a hunch.
Okay.
She her last viral interview, it was so, she got praised so well for
Which one was
handling it. I forget who it was with.
Okay.
The R. Kelly one?
Yeah, the R. Kelly one.
Yeah.
So
right
she
on,
was
right.
praised like, oh my God, you kept your cool, this and that.
Yeah.
And I almost feel like maybe she was trying to get a reaction
Trying
out
to press the envelope a little
to
bit.
do it again, to keep her cool again. And it didn't go the way she wanted it to. And I feel like maybe that's what she was trying to do,
Again, like when we were talking, it was just good TV, something to just bring up and hopefully get.
For me, she had to have known that there would have been some level of
sure.
backlash. Once
She
again,
knew.
Kobe's passing was and still is a huge shock, a huge surprise,
And
to
still
many.
fresh,
Very
too.
unexpected. Well, that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
So to kind of not expect, and obviously, she gave her statement after the fact, pretty much, blaming the network, blaming CBS for taking, that segment out of context, which I don't necessarily see that whatsoever. I don't support, any of the death threats. I think Snoop and a couple others, went a little bit too far. But obviously, people are hurting. These are people who know Kobe Bryant well. They've had, close personal relationships with Kobe Bryant. So I just think it's a lose-lose situation for everybody. But going back to, the question as far as, is it fair game, bringing up something from his past? especially when we talk about, the merits of that particular case, guys, where he was not convicted. I mean, it didn't even go all the way. So once again, what are we getting at here? What is the purpose? What are we driving at? I just thought it was completely, that was out of context. And that's something that I think if she was to, kind of humble herself and realize that wasn't a very good move from a journalistic standpoint.
For sure.
Yeah, not fair game, but.
Absolutely. Okay, guys, so we'll leave it there for now. Let's get into what we have on tap for today's show. We got a lot going on today. We have a featured interview coming up with entrepreneur and father of 2 MLB players. Mr. Ken Pompey is in the building. So looking forward to chopping it up with Ken. We're actually, Janelle, I believe you'll be speaking with our recent contest winner who won tickets to our recent contest, Toronto Raptor tickets versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. So we'll get her take and her impression on the game and the experience. And then we'll be talking about the Raptors, of course, and their historical 15-game winning streak. Wow, 15 games and counting for the Toronto Raptors. Very exciting. And for our And More segment, we have an interview with award-winning journalist Mr. Dalton Higgins is in the house. He's in the building, so looking forward to that. So once again, guys, this is episode number 12 of season 3. But before we sign off, because I'll get in big trouble if I don't go there, tomorrow, which is the 12th of February, my lovely wife and I are celebrating 14 years of marriage.
Yay.
Yes. So how I could possibly get a woman to put up with me for that long, I have no idea. But shout out to my lovely wife, Charlene. I love you.
Shout out to Charlene.
14 years
Shout
strong.
out to her.
Absolutely. Thanks for everything. Once again, guys, episode number 12 of season 3. This is Toronto Talk Sports and more.
Thank you for watching. Please click the like button and leave us a comment with your feedback. And don't forget to subscribe with notifications to see more engaging and interactive content. Toronto Talk Sports and more. For the love of the six, let's connect.